Hi, this is Chandrashekhar Prabhu once again coming to you with my regular posts with regard to issues which affect you in your day-to-day life. We shall now discuss the timeline for the implementation of the decision taken by Cabinet, because a lot of you have been asking me questions as to the Cabinet has taken a decision and when this is going to be implemented. So what is the decision that the Cabinet has taken and how long is it going to take for the implementation? First of all, what decision has the Cabinet taken? What I see in the newspapers is very clear that the Cabinet has taken a decision that, based on recommendations given by the Committee of MLAs, which was given more than a year or two ago, the Cabinet decides that some of the recommendations given by the Committee of MLAs would be accepted. Now, which are going to be accepted, which are not, we do not know. Once the Cabinet takes this decision, a committee under the chairmanship of the Principal Secretary Housing will be constituted, and all these suggestions will go to the Principal Secretary Housing. He shall examine all these suggestions, maybe talk to the MLAs, talk to the concerned people who are going to be affected, and give a report back to government. The government, in its wisdom, will then get the Chief Secretary to examine the report given by the Principal Secretary, and the Chief Secretary then reports back to the Cabinet with some positive recommendation as to what changes in the laws need to be done. When the Chief Secretary reports back to the Cabinet takes decision on the basis of the recommendation of the Chief Secretary and the Principal Secretary Housing. And based on the Cabinet decision, then the government can move with an ordinance or table a legislation for amendment of the Act if required in the legislature or the House, both the houses. Now, for all this to happen, if it is done in the quickest possible mode, it would still take about a year or year and a half. If the DC rules need to be changed further, it is mandatory for the government to announce a draft of what changes need to be done, invite for suggestion objection, for which a 3-month period is given. Once the suggestion objections are received by the government, those suggestion objections have to be heard by a competent authority who then gives his report to the government, and then government decides on it and takes a decision to amend the DC rules. So even with regard to changing of DC rules, the minimum possible time that is required would at least be 7 or 8 months, which means very clearly that despite the Cabinet decision taken, these decisions may not come to fruition till about a year, year and a half. It's common knowledge what is going to happen in a year, year and a half. We shall soon be facing the elections to the municipal corporation. And I think this issue will be kept alive and ripe and warm when the municipal corporation elections will be gone. As far as the people are concerned, you are concerned, it's our responsibility to ensure that whenever the elections are held and the respective political parties come to you, you must tell them your woes, your problems, and tell them what problems you are facing with regarding to redevelopment. Ask them, request them to request the government to make the necessary changes so that the redevelopment policy becomes a new policy which would be pro-people rather than just catering to those who have so far benefited out of it. This is what we need to do, and unless all of us get organized, those who want redevelopment of their buildings, and move the powers that be, the government may not act. So let us help the government in bringing about new changes. All of us should work hard towards it. With this is Chandrashekhar Prabhu bidding you au revoir and promising you that we shall come back with more posts. Please be with us and we shall have this interaction continuously and tell the powers that be what the people want. Bye for now.